Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the portfolio update. So I did miss the last payment of the portfolio. So we're actually entering in $800 this payment round. So just to give a recap for anyone new, we started this portfolio maybe a couple of months ago. We added $1,000 and we've been building that up $400 USD every few weeks. And now we've gotten to this point. I think we've deposited maybe around $4,000. I'm not sure, I'd have to do the math. But at this point, we are in a far amount of profit, well over 100%. Okay, well, let's look at what we're going into today, and we'll also go over the whole crypto market. Go ahead and give me a like first before we get into it. It really helps share these videos out. And especially if you want to watch more of the portfolio series, go ahead and click on the portfolio playlist at the end of this video. Okay, let's get into it. So we obviously see Bitcoin is taking a little bit more of a plunge, but we do see Ethereum fighting back and getting that $2,500 mark. So that's really good news for the crypto market cap in general. We do see Binance Coin has dipped a little bit. XRP did go through a little bit of a pump earlier today, but it has been on that downward trend. Really everything has kind of been bleeding out as that Bitcoin capitulation happened. We still see Doge holding heavy strong there. So there's that for all the Doge holders. But overall, the market is the market. The market is not really shaky at this point. I would say that the market is in a healthy period of consolidation, and we do see some things still pumping along the way. Now, in terms of what we're adding, one of the first tokens that we added is we added $200 to KSM or Kusama. Kusama is a substrate blockchain that works with Polkadot. It's identical to Polkadot's code base, except how the infrastructure and how it's governed. A lot of projects test on Kusama first before even deploying on the Polkadot parachains, or at least that's the plan. And the auctions are about to be live. I'm not sure exactly what date. I know that we've had a couple of comments. If you guys know any updated dates in terms of when these parachain auctions are live, please let me know in the comments below. But I believe it's happening this quarter. I heard it was supposed to be happening like now, but I'm not sure. I have no release knowledge. So if you have that knowledge, go ahead and drop that below. I've said numerous times that an under $400 KSM is a steal, and here it is. We're at $361. So I did add $200 KSM. Now keep in mind, as I added these all in yesterday, so I purchased 0.537 KSM, and I'll put that on the screen there so you have that transaction. The next token that I entered was Harmony One. Unfortunately, because I entered this yesterday and I believe I entered it at around 12 cents, but it did dip a little bit more today down to 11 cents. Again, I'm not concerned. When you're looking at good projects, you should be less concerned about the short-term price action and what's happening in the short term. But right now we do see Harmony One as a good project. I'm welcoming this extended bleed as a buying opportunity for myself. And we can see obviously it's gone through this extended bleed for the past month, and we did have that pump over the month prior. So I do expect it to pump again, but as normal with any other project, when something pumps, it needs to consolidate. And usually this is around the time people start saying dead project, I'm gonna get out. You know, we all know the story from there. So as long as you're the person that researches the company, researches the actual token, how it works, and understands it, then at that point, have your diamond hands. Don't worry about the FUD. Trust your own research. That's what I've learned. And you know what? If you lose some money because of your research, lesson learned. So I'm never opposed to actually losing a little bit of money, just so you know. Especially going into a bear market too. You got to make some mistakes, guys. Like, live once, right? You take some risks. You're going to lose some money. This isn't a game that you're always going to win at. As long as you play it good though, and as long as you're doing your research, you'll win more oftentimes than you lose, which is pretty often. There's not one project that I really regret buying. So the last one, and for the remaining $400, since we put $200 in one, we put $200 in Kusama, we are putting $400 into BPro. We already know what my thoughts are on BPro. I think in terms of the bet of where we're going in terms of financial structures and cryptocurrency, gambling is the next thing. And we know that BPro is announcing something big with gambling in June. We understand where BPro is going in terms of, the option side of things, bets, betting on elections, overall gambling in general. I think this is going to be a great position for BPro on top of the NFT space, the gaming space, and everything else that BPro is. I think all of these combined are just huge bullish indicators on where the business is going to go. And again, I really trust the CEO in terms of the projects that he's developed and consulted on. So I'm really expecting big things from BPro. And again, I'm expecting big things definitely for this bull market. And again, past that, when we have more wide adoption and more people, essentially more human capital in the system, that's going to make all these systems grow. So as more people enter the space, more people are using things, more people are gambling, more products are coming out, these values are going to increase. Just remember that you're buying into the systems at such an early rate. So it is what it is. But I did buy BPro. I bought BPro at a little bit of a dip yesterday. So we picked up roughly 28,000 BPro, 28,020, something like that. But the screen is up there on the screen there. So that brings our portfolio it's been fluttering around the $8,000 mark. It pumped up really hard the other day before the big capitulation. So I'm expecting the portfolio to do well and pump up again. At this point, the portfolio doesn't really represent my allocations on my main portfolio. So I don't want you guys to look at this portfolio and think, okay, this is what he holds in terms of his main portfolio. My main portfolio in terms of percentages looks a lot different than this. Bitcoin is one of my top holdings. So you got to keep in mind that I got into cryptocurrency a little bit early-ish in terms of this bull market. I got in at the start of 2020. So you can imagine how much time I've had to accumulate during a bear market, and then here I am. So obviously my allocations are going to look different on my actual portfolio than this portfolio that we're doing together. But this portfolio is good in terms of helping you understand how to pick tokens, how to buy the dip, and not to buy big green candles. Now, I just wanted to end this video with talking about the Ethereum chart. Obviously, you guys know that I own Ethereum. I hold Ethereum both on the altcoin portfolio and on my main portfolio. I'm bullish on where Ethereum is going to go. Now, keep in mind, I'm a little bit more bullish on the Polkadot system, specifically Polkadot. I'm also an ADA bull, and I hold, actually, fun fact, I hold an equal amount of value in terms of ADA and Polkadot. But in terms of where ETH is going right now, we know that there's a lot of updates coming to the Ethereum system. We know we have the updates coming for Uniswap. ETH is definitely going to be pumping in the next little while. Obviously, it's pumping up, trying to hit that $2,500 mark. It did hit the $2,600 mark, but I do think at this current level, Ethereum is definitely undervalued. Now that doesn't mean that I'm essentially dumping a bunch of money into Ethereum. I'm not buying any new Ethereum, of course. But if you don't have a position, there is still room to grow, and you are going to want a little bit of Ethereum at least once we fix all the gas fee issues and everything with Uniswap and the fees are a little bit more tolerable. You'll want a little bit to facilitate those fees and conduct swaps on the Uniswap platform or whatever other DEX that you're using. Now, of course, there's a lot of low fee DEXs, and I just want to put this in perspective in terms of decentralized exchanges and where we are right now. Currently, the number one decentralized exchange in terms of volume is PancakeSwap. The reason being here is because of the low gas fees. It doesn't mean it's the best platform, and this is often what this represents. Uniswap probably has one of the best selections of tokens. We can get virtually any token on Uniswap if it doesn't trade on Binance, KuCoin, or whatever. Usually, if it's pre-launched, it's on Uniswap. But not many people use Uniswap, and the reason being is because of the gas fee. Regular people can't shell out $60 to $100 every day to make a trade or to DCA in. Not many people are DCAing with $10,000 a week, right? So it's not for the average person. But when you think about it, when the DEX fees are cheap, once PSwap is out, once Cardano has their DeFi systems live, once all of these other competitors are in the space, this space is going to go wild. I want you now, if you're just thinking about cryptocurrency, you just dabbled in, but you haven't gotten into the DeFi space, now is absolutely the time to start learning these DeFi things, because we are going to go through a DeFi pump similar to what cryptocurrency does in its own. And understanding how liquidity providing works and how these swaps work on the DEX is a really useful tool. Moving into the PSwap DEX, whatever Cardano is able to provide, the Flare DEX, anything other than Uniswap or PancakeSwap. That's not to say that these aren't going to still contend in the top ranks of DEXs, but this just goes to show how small the competition is right now for good decentralized exchanges. So we still have plenty of room in terms of decentralized exchanges, and I want those to be on your mind in the next coming weeks, especially when you think about PolkaSwap. Just as a little tip here, Zora is actually the gas token that's going to be used for the PSwap DEX. This is the substrate DEX that works on the Polkadot code base, the substrate code base. So I would heavily recommend you keep this token in mind, because right now it has a circulating supply of 350,000. The current market cap is 167 million. So obviously if this grows with a less circulating supply, that's going to increase the value of the token. So I know the token seems expensive, but obviously the expensive token doesn't matter. It's about the price of the market cap and where this can go. And if you think about it, when we don't have the decentralized exchange out yet, and we see how much volume and how little competition there is in this space, then you can understand how I am super bullish on where Sora is going to go in the next couple weeks to months. That's it for me, everybody. Go ahead and subscribe to the video. It really helps. Like to share this out, especially with the Sora hit. Hopefully you guys found this useful. Definitely give it a like if this helped at all. Comment down below as well. What do you think about the portfolio? Where do you think it's going to go by the end of the bull market? I'm probably guesstimating we'll probably hit around $40,000 to $50,000. You know, give and take. If we make some good trades, we might be able to increase that. But that's it for me, everybody. Take it easy. Happy hodling.